Have you ever had a close call?
A moment where you thought, wow, that could have been bad.
Well, today we're diving into stories that redefine the term close call. These are the tales of individuals who faced certain doom and, against all odds, walked away. Get ready to have your mind blown by the luckiest people who survived the impossible. Our first story is about a man named Frane Selek, a Croatian music teacher who many have dubbed the world's luckiest unlucky man. His incredible streak of surviving disasters began in 1962. Frane was on a train that derailed and plunged into an icy river. While 17 other passengers perished, he managed to escape with a broken arm and hypothermia. Just 1 year later, he was on a plane when a door blew open and he was sucked out. He landed in a haystack while the plane crashed, claiming 19 lives. And that's not even half of it. Over the next few decades, he survived a bus crash, 2 car fires, and being hit by a bus. It's like a real-life Final Destination movie, but he's the one who always gets away. As if that wasn't enough, in 2003, at the age of 73, Frane Selek won the lottery, taking home about $1 million. He gave most of it away, saying money can't buy happiness. After cheating death 7 times, maybe he knows something we don't. Next, let's journey to the Amazon rainforest with Julianne Kopke. In 1971, 17-year-old Julianne was flying with her mother when their plane was struck by lightning over the Peruvian jungle. The aircraft disintegrated mid-air, and Julianne, still strapped to her seat, fell 2 miles to the forest floor. Can you even imagine that? Falling for what must have felt like an eternity, plummeting towards a sea of green. Miraculously, the dense canopy of trees broke her fall, and she survived with a broken collarbone, a deep gash on her leg, and a concussion. She was the sole survivor of the crash, but her ordeal was far from over. Alone in one of the most dangerous environments on Earth, surrounded by venomous snakes, spiders, and predators, she had to find her way to safety. Her father, a famous zoologist, had taught her survival skills. Remembering his advice to follow water downstream to find civilization, she found a small creek and followed it. For 10 days, she waded and walked, battling insects and infection. The gash on her arm became infested with maggots, but she remembered seeing her father treat their dog the same way, so she poured gasoline on the wound to force the maggots out. On the 10th day, she stumbled upon a small hut and a boat belonging to local lumberjacks. They found her, treated her wounds, and took her to get help. Julianne's story is a breathtaking testament to human resilience and the will to live. From the sky to the sea, let's talk about Harrison O'Keefe. In 2013, this Nigerian ship's cook was on a tugboat when it capsized in the Atlantic Ocean and sank 100 feet to the seabed. As the boat filled with water, Harrison was swept into a small 4-foot air pocket in the engineer's office. There he was, trapped in total darkness, with freezing water rising around him, listening as the ocean consumed his crewmates. He built a small platform from a mattress to keep himself out of the water and waited. He waited for 3 days. 3 days in pitch black, freezing, crushing silence, 100 feet below the surface. He had no food, no fresh water, and was breathing a dwindling supply of air. He had resigned himself to his fate, praying and thinking of his family. Meanwhile, a rescue team was sent to the wreck, but their mission was to recover bodies, not to find survivors. They had no idea anyone could still be alive. As a diver was exploring the wreck, he saw a hand reach out and touch him. The diver, thinking it was a body, almost had a heart attack, but then the hand squeezed his. It was Harrison. The rescue team was stunned. They had to carefully bring him to the surface in a decompression chamber to prevent the bends, a fatal condition caused by ascending too quickly. Harrison O'Keefe spent 60 hours on the ocean floor and lived to tell the tale, a true miracle from the deep. Now, how about surviving a fall from 33,000 feet without a parachute? That's what happened to Vesna Volovijo. In 1972, Vesna was a 22-year-old flight attendant on a Yugoslav Airlines flight. A bomb, believed to have been planted in a suitcase, exploded mid-flight over Czechoslovakia. The plane broke apart, and Vesna plummeted from an altitude of over 6 miles, trapped in a section of the fuselage. She landed on a snowy wooded mountainside, which cushioned the impact just enough. She was found by a villager who had been a medic in World War II and was able to provide crucial first aid until help arrived. Vesna suffered a fractured skull, 2 broken legs, and a broken pelvis, and was temporarily paralyzed from the waist down. She was in a coma for 27 days, but she eventually made a full recovery, learning to walk again after 10 months. Incredibly, she had no memory of the crash or her fall. She even wanted to go back to work as a flight attendant, but the airline gave her a desk job instead. Vesna Volovio holds the Guinness World Record for the highest fall survived without a parachute. Her survival is so statistically improbable that it continues to baffle scientists and doctors. Let's turn to a story of sheer grit and determination. In 2003, Aaron Ralston was hiking alone in a remote canyon in Utah when a half-ton boulder shifted, pinning his right arm against the canyon wall. He was completely trapped. For 5 days, he tried everything to free himself. He chipped away at the rock, tried to rig a pulley system with his climbing ropes, but nothing worked. He had a small amount of water and a couple of burritos, but they quickly ran out. Delirious and hypothermic, he began recording goodbye messages for his family on his camera. He had accepted that he would die there. But on the 5th day, he had a vision of his future son, which gave him a final surge of strength. He realized his only option was to amputate his own arm. Using the dull 2-inch blade of his cheap multi-tool, he broke his own arm bones and then, over the course of an hour, painstakingly cut through the muscle, nerves, and tendons. Once free, he still had to rappel 65 feet down a cliff and hike 7 miles, before he finally encountered a family who gave him water and alerted the authorities. His story was immortalized in the film 127 Hours, a raw and powerful depiction of the lengths a person will go to survive. Finally, we have the incredible story of the 1972 Andes flight disaster. A plane carrying a Uruguayan rugby team, along with their friends and family, crashed high in the Andes Mountains. Of the 45 people on board, 29 survived the initial crash. Stranded in one of the world's most desolate and hostile environments, they faced freezing temperatures, starvation, and avalanches. The search parties gave up after 8 days, assuming no one could have survived. To stay alive, the survivors were forced to make an unthinkable decision: to eat the bodies of those who had passed away. It was a harrowing choice that tested the very limits of their humanity. After 2 months, with their numbers dwindling and hope fading, 2 of the survivors, Nando Parado and Roberto Canessa, decided to hike out of the mountains to find help. With no climbing gear and wearing layers of clothes from their deceased friends, they trekked for 10 days across the treacherous mountain range. They finally found a Chilean farmer who alerted the authorities. On December 22nd, more than 72 days after the crash, the 16 remaining survivors were rescued. Their story is one of profound tragedy, but also of incredible teamwork, faith, and the unbreakable spirit of survival. These stories are more than just close calls. They are powerful reminders of the fragility of life and the incredible strength of the human will. From falling out of planes to being trapped under the sea, these individuals stared death in the face and refused to back down. They teach us that even when things seem impossible, there's always a glimmer of hope. What did you think of these incredible survival stories? Do you know of any others that we should cover? Let us know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.